Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I want to begin by saying that my heart and my prayers are with the Tyre Nichols family and everyone in Memphis today. Black men deserve to grow old. Black men absolutely deserve to grow old. And I wanted to make this video because there has been such an increase of violence, especially within the US, targeting unarmed Black men. And I want to put some encouragement out into the world, send love and light and blessings, because we are, as Black people, one of, if not the most vulnerable, marginalized populations on the globe. And being an American is exhausting at times because there's so many mass shootings in no other country in the world, especially an industrialized democratic nation. No other country has to deal with the amount of mass shootings that we do. And the fact that these 5 Black police officers in Memphis, and there's one white officer who we don't know who he is, but because of a traffic stop, they decided to make themselves the judge, jury, and executioner of Tyre Nichols. And so my heart breaks because at no point should there be such a target on the backs of Black men. And these 5 cops, you would think, would know better. But unfortunately, when it comes to power dynamics, that the police officers within this country view any type of non-compliance or deferential treatment as a threat, especially if you have melanin in your skin. And Tyre Nichols should still be here alive today. And I want to take the time to say that Black men, I respect you, I support you, I value you, and I love you, because there's not enough love in this world. There's not enough basic decency. So please be kind to yourself. We are living in terrifying times, and it's easy to be overcome with exhaustion. Be good and be kind to one another. We need each other so much more than we realize. I feel like the Western ideology of individualism is killing us. And I'm really, on one hand, I'm happy that they got these cops, fired from the force and put in jail immediately, because that's exactly what needs to happen, although they're all out on bail now. But that just goes to show that we have 2 sets of rules in this country, and that needs to change. And while we are making headway with, we have a Black vice president right now, our first Black Supreme Court justice with Ketanji Brown Jackson, and, coming up off of President Barack Obama, him being elected twice, I feel like there is such a swift backlash. And now we are in a repeat of a historical point in our history where during the Reconstruction era, there were Black senators and thriving businesses. And then Jim Crow came as a response to that generation of Black wealth and social status. And here's a picture of Martin Luther King Jr. because he would be around the same age as Joe Biden. He never even made it to 40. He was assassinated at 39. And Black men deserve to grow old. I am just horrified at the fact that, James Baldwin said, and I quote, "We feared black cops even more than white cops because the black cop had to work so much harder on your head to prove to himself and to his colleagues that he was not like the other Negroes." That's not what he said, but that's what I'm going to say. And I feel like that's that is so prevalent today of a statement, and not only dealing with black cops, but if you research any type of power dynamic and you take any type of individual who comes from a marginalized group, you look at a lot of older women have internalized misogyny and they're much harder on their daughters and other women. You look at just Latinos and other people of color that vote for Republicans, even though it's against their best interest a lot of times. Not all the time, but a lot of times it is. And people want to align themselves with those in power. They want the power dynamic to fall on their side. But what people don't realize oftentimes is that having, power adjacent or, feeling like you're on the side of someone who has more social capital, it comes at a cost to so many others. And, right here, the statistic, we need to change it quickly. 1 in 4 Black men between the ages of 1 and 44 will die from homicide. Again, Black men, you deserve to grow old. Tyre Nichols should still be here. And while I'm glad that people are speaking out, it's not enough, because what they're doing in Atlanta with Cop City, and people are protesting against that, and they're banning African American advancement studies in Florida and threatening librarians and teachers with felony charges if they don't remove certain books that are inclusive and teach multiculturalism and diversity. I mean, the cultural wars that are going on right now are ridiculous. And we've got to change. We have got to change it. Joe Biden put out a tweet basically saying, that he's optimistic about the future. And that's great. But we need to make some changes now. Otherwise, there's going to not be a future for so many of us. And like Martin Luther King said, either we come together as one or we perish. And I feel like a good portion of this country, mainly a lot of those on January 6th that try to overthrow our government and our democracy, want to burn this place to the ground rather than share equal rights with Black and brown people. And it's sickening. It really is. And so I'm calling on our leaders, our government officials. Wes Moore made history being the first elected governor as a Black man, and I'm really happy for that. Senator Raphael Warnock, he's a senator in Atlanta. He preaches at Ebenezer Church, which was Martin Luther King's old church that he preached at. We need to do something. We cannot allow the police and people in power to brutalize Black and brown men and women anymore. We've got to make some policy changes, some legislative changes. It's great that we have more diverse and more Black and brown leaders in our country, to the Supreme Court and to the judges and with VP Harris and stuff, but unless that translates into Congress, unless that translates into actual, you know, substantive change, then it's just words. So, with that being said, again, I want to send warm love and support, light and blessings. I wish I could give all of you a collective hug. That Black men, you do deserve to grow old. And in the meantime and in between time, like Issa Rae says right here, deep, heavy Negro spiritual sigh. Please take care of yourselves and each other. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.